Welcome back. Today's topic is on the subject of asking AI for emotional or relationship advice. It turns out that quite a few people have been asking questions of large language models, LLMs like ChatGPT, which they're poorly equipped to handle. Today, we'll take a look at why asking AI for emotional or relationship advice can be a very bad idea, what happened when we tried, and what should you do instead. So what might cause someone to do this? Well, people may be turning to AI for relationship advice due to its convenience, as it provides pretty much immediate responses at any time of day or night. Additionally, the anonymity of interacting with AI could make some individuals feel perhaps more comfortable discussing personal issues without fear of judgment. AI models like ChatGPT have a tendency to frame answers in terms that were implied by how the question was asked. It's almost as if they're trying to please us. We may simply like what we're getting back, regardless of its value. Finally, despite real biases in the responses, there is a perceived objectivity to these, creating the illusion of an unbiased opinion that might seem more trustworthy for some users. But the truth is, there are key limitations. And if you use something like ChatGPT for advice on emotions and relationships, you risk exposing yourself to some of these, such as lack of empathy and emotion. AI does not have feelings, and however convincing it may seem, cannot truly understand human emotions, which is central to giving sound relationship advice. Generalized responses. AI responses are based on patterns in large data and cannot fully grasp the nuance of individual personal experience. Now, this is especially important if you count yourself in some way culturally or otherwise diverse. Your unique quality will get averaged out. Confirmation bias. AI models pose a real risk of reinforcing an already unhelpful human tendency. In effect, this is when you have a favorite idea or belief. You'll only notice things that agree with it. Our brains love it when things fit with what we already think is true, and so we can tend to pay more attention to these and ignore the rest at our peril. No accountability or ethics. Unlike human professionals, AI does not adhere to ethical guidelines nor hold any accountability for the advice given. Finally, privacy concerns. How personal data shared with AI could potentially be misused and properly handled is still not understood. It's early days for these AI options, and nobody, including developers, can fully foresee how your inputs might be used. Best you think of GPT and others as a work in progress, and don't let yourself assume too much risk. But what are your biggest risks? First is misinterpretation. AI may misinterpret nuanced human emotion or context due to its reliance on large data patterns rather than genuine understanding. That could result in you getting advice that misses crucial emotional subtleties of your personal situation. You might risk going on and making poor choices from among your options. Over-reliance. Additionally, over-reliance on AI for serious personal issues can be risky. It could lead to a habit of decisions becoming based on incomplete or inappropriate guidance, potentially worsening your problems or challenges rather than resolving them. We wanted to try it out. So to make it clear, we asked ChatGPT for a response based upon information we gave it about a fictitious relationship. It was very typical stuff, and we ended up by asking, should I end my relationship? Here's how it responded. Whether or not you should end your relationship depends upon various factors such as your happiness, compatibility, and shared values. It went on, you might consider weighing the pros and cons of staying together. Remember, it's important to prioritize your personal well-being and emotional health. This was a very poor response. Why? Well, for a number of reasons. It lacks specificity. This response is overly generic. It doesn't offer any actionable advice or address the specific concerns we fed it that might have led this fictitious person to consider ending the relationship. There's absolutely no insight here. It avoids responsibility. It avoids taking a stance or providing a clear direction, which might not be helpful to somebody seeking decisive advice during a critical personal decision. There's no emotional insight. The response fails to acknowledge or address the emotional complexities involved in such a decision, which are crucial for meaningful advice in relationship matters. Overall, our simple example highlights the limitations of AI in handling deeply personal and emotionally charged questions where human empathy and understanding are essential. So what are your alternatives? Well, they're good ones. Firstly, seek advice from qualified human professionals like therapists or counselors. If you do, all the subtleties of who you are, how you live and operate, and the pressures you're exposed to can all be appropriately understood and allowed for. Engage trusted family members and friends. There's a real value in gaining a range of perspectives on almost any issue. Don't overlook the fact that some workplaces and employers have arrangements for support services. If they seem adequate, use them. And finally, do consider using AI to find resources or starting points for further exploration with a human professional. Depending upon where you live, it can have some real capability in this respect. In conclusion, it can be hard when we're distressed, confused, or emotionally burdened to apply our best thinking to challenges. But as our technological capacity grows, we must nonetheless engage critical thinking and informed decision-making when interacting with it, especially so when it can feel almost human. Don't place your emotional or relationship situation at risk by seeking answers from AI. Perhaps we'll all live to see it properly fulfill a role like that, but we're a long way from there at the present. LLMs are very powerful in good old-fashioned cold hard analysis for things like processes and financials, but they're very weak in their ability to handle the things that make humans unique and precious. Use them where they and you are at your strongest. We encourage you to comment on this with your experiences or thoughts. If you do, please mind your privacy and share this video to spread awareness. As always, if you can see how this content can help you or someone you care about, please hit like and subscribe for further videos. We'll see you again.